Okay, guys, what's up? Kyle back again here, SN10. Got some QB carousel news, news of the day so far at least. Andy Dalton signs with the Chicago Bears for, I believe it's 10 million with 3 million incentives. Um, so what do I think about this? As I've said before in previous videos, I am a Bears fan. I'm pretty much, Illinois/Chicago everything. And like many Bears fans, this move leaves a lot to be desired, in my opinion. Now, I don't want to overreact. I've taken a couple hours to try to post this video to kind of collect my thoughts and not just get on here and just flame throw it, like a lot of people are, and rightfully so. But I want to kind of collect my thoughts and kind of try to digest, if you will, hopefully what this really actually means for the Bears. So Chicago Bears, who have been rumored, obviously, depending on who you believe, are they going to sign? Are they truly in the running for Watson, which I never believed? Are they in the running for Russell Wilson, though? And that was the one that had gained some traction recently, even by some pretty substantial beat writers, that Chicago has made a substantial offer. They're going all in to try to, make Seattle an offer they can't refuse for Russell Wilson. That was early. That was like a few days ago. That report came out on ESPN, and you'll see a lot of memes and stuff and like how it started and how it's going, because that's kind of the trendy thing right now with memes. And of course, right now it's how it started, Russell Wilson, how it's going, Andy Dalton for the Bears quarterback search. So obviously, a couple hours ago, today, March 16th. The Bears came to terms with Andy Dalton, and that was rumored last night. It broke, I think it was later last night. I think I woke up actually to the tweets and on the Twitter at least about, don't be surprised if the Bears sign Andy Dalton soon. They're moving towards a deal. So then people started speculating, well, maybe they can still get Dalton. I mean, nobody really wanted Dalton because Dalton, in a lot of people's minds, myself included, is very similar to Nick Foles. And that's kind of the other element of this is you're signing a veteran, at this point, journeyman, to go into your quarterback room with another veteran journeyman. I mean, both guys, Nick Foles and Andy Dalton, I think the best word to describe them would be like serviceable. They're not terrible. Trust me, I've seen terrible quarterbacks in Chicago. Their best years are behind them, clearly, but they've won some games. I think they both maybe, I don't know if Foles has a win record or not, but I think Dalton does, I think. But either way, they're not the worst quarterbacks that's ever stepped on an NFL field. They've stuck around for a long time, were starters for a substantial period of their time and have made a Pro Bowl or two. But at this point in their career, they're serviceable. If you're doing things right, good backups. So when I saw that they were probably going to sign Dalton, then people were still holding out hope. Well, maybe Dalton's going to back up Russell Wilson. And then it comes officially they sign Dalton. Well, like literally shortly after, Adam Schefter tweets that basically the Russell Wilson thing is, for all intents and purposes, dead now. It's not going to happen. At least at this point in time, basically it's on ice. The Bears did make an offer, so that part was true. The Bears made an offer, and I think Seattle communicated to them, we're not going to move on Russell. We're not ready to rebuild. And so then the Bears went and signed Dalton. So that's where we are. I never really got caught up in thinking Russell Wilson was truly coming. I mean, yeah, it'd be great, but I've been a Bears fan long enough to just kind of know that it just doesn't usually work out that way. And I kind of prepared. I had my cup in, if you will, for this not to work out the right way. So that's where we are. The Bears have signed. The Bears QB room going into 2021 as of right now, March 16th, 2021, is Nick Foles and Andy Dalton, who, again, in my opinion, are much of the same as far as their makeup, their ability at this point, the kind of team you'd have to have around them to even come close to being decent and competing. I think, in my opinion, you have to have obviously a good defense, which Chicago should have, and you got to stack the offense and protect them, because that's the only way I think you're going to get anything remotely good out of those two guys. So where do they go from here? Well, I personally think and hope, I think they're going to move from Foles. I think there's been some rumors, nothing real substantial, that maybe the Denver's interested. So I think maybe the Bears may try to move Nick Foles for maybe like a 5th or 6th round. They traded a 4th for him last year, which that's the other ironic thing is they could have gotten Andy Dalton on just the joker right now is they could have gotten Andy Dalton on a cheap deal last year. Instead, they trade for Nick Foles and take on his contract. Now they just re-signed Andy Dalton. It's just, I don't know. It's just more of the same, I guess, if you've been a Bears fan long enough. Just the ineptitude to address the quarterback position, which is why the Bears have been largely irrelevant since literally the mid-'80s, and I wasn't even alive for it. So basically irrelevant for all my life, as far as I'm concerned. So I think they will, though. If I had to kind of see where they go from here, where I hope they go from here, I guess, if you will, I think they move Foles. And like I said, for a 5th or 6th round pick, I think to maybe like a Denver or a San Francisco, because the word is Nick Mullins is going to move on from San Francisco probably. So I could see Foles being a preferred backup in one of those spots to like, if Locke kind of doesn't work out because he's kind of I call Drew Lock like a poor man's Jay Cutler. He kind of has that strong arm and gunslings, in my opinion, just not as good. Even though, Cutler wasn't great, but I don't think Locke's any better. And then, obviously in San Francisco, Garoppolo, that's been up in the air for a while. His injury history, maybe Shanahan feels like smart QB, give me a guy that can run a system. I can work with Nick Foles as a backup. I don't know. We'll see. But I think the Bears will move on from Nick Foles because, like I said, that's 2 pegs in the same hole to me in that QB room. So once they do that, obviously they got to add somebody. A lot of speculation. Maybe it's hope just because of how much of a letdown this is coming off the Wilson hope to the Dalton reality. A lot of speculation that now this solidifies that they're definitely going to probably try to move up in the draft for one of the top 4 to 5 rookies, maybe a Trey Lance, a Fields. I won't go as far as to say Wilson or Lawrence, obviously. I think they're unattainable. The Bears can't get up to number 2. But I think you're talking like a Mac Jones, Trey Lance, Fields, Justin Fields scenario. So, which, I'd be okay with that. That's kind of what I've always wanted as a Bears fan is, hey, let's get a rookie. Let's get our own guy to develop that maybe can be the opposite of Trubisky, and we can raise him, groom him the right way and put the right things around him, because I'm always going to be a Bears fan as much as it sucks most of the time. Whereas these guys, these coaches, this front office and coach could very well be gone next year. Well, especially will be gone next year if they stick with Andy Dalton and Nick Foles. And I don't want them to be able to mortgage the future necessarily. So, for a veteran that might not work out, So I don't know, but they're going to have to mortgage it to somewhat degree to get one of those rookies because they won't fall to 20. So that's kind of where I'm thinking is they'll move on from Foles. Dalton can be, I guess, maybe not the starter, or maybe he will start at the start of the season, to maybe a rookie that they trade up for. I think that's kind of most people's plan A at this point if they had to choose. And the reason I kind of say that too is people may have forgotten Bill Lazor is, on the Bears staff, came on last year and took over the play calling later in the year when the offense got better, kind of became more run oriented, and, Trubisky balled out, which he didn't. I mean, fair play to him, but he played well against bad teams. We saw it was still Mitch. It was the same Mitch when we played the good teams. So, but to be fair, the offense did seem more balanced and better whenever Lazor took over for Nagy. So my thinking is, since Lazor coached Dalton in Cincinnati, I think Dalton, I want to say, had one of, if not his best year under Lazor. Maybe this is Lazor's security blanket for a rookie that they're going to move up and grab. That's kind of my hope and thinking and logic here. So they tried Foles as a security blanket for Nagy. Hasn't worked out. Maybe Bill stepped in and said, if I'm still calling plays, which we don't even know that, but let's operate under the assumption Bill Lazor's going to keep calling plays and keep that momentum going. Hey, if I'm calling plays, I want my security blanket, which is Andy Dalton. So if that rookie's not ready, I know I can run my offense because Andy knows it like the back of his hand, which where have we heard this before? It's literally a rerun of Foles and Nagy last year, but I digress. So that's kind of my thinking with maybe paying him $10 million is kind of a tweener, where it's like low-end starter / preferred backup, the QB market is going up. So I think $10 million is still in my mind more of a preferred backup. Not necessarily bona fide starter. It's a 1-year deal, so I don't think it's like he's the true bona fide starter. I do in my heart believe, giving them the benefit of the doubt, which I probably shouldn't, that there is another move to be made. I do not believe the Bears are going into 2021 with Andy Dalton and Nick Foles and maybe like a 6th-round rookie. Just don't believe it. Again, Probably shouldn't give him the benefit of the doubt, but here I am, So I think that's kind of the plan A. Trade up for a rookie if they can get it done. Bill Lazor has his security blanket now that he knows can run his offense, or Nagy's, him/Nagy's offense. He just knows he has a good rapport with Andy Dalton. If that doesn't work out and the Bears cannot get a trade up into I'd say the top 10, I think it's got to be top 10, if not like top 8. If they can't get that done, then I think the other move will be to trade for somebody with maybe a second or third round pick that has potential. And I'm sure you might know where I'm going with it, but it's probably going to be somebody like a Sam Darnold, who's pretty polarizing. Literally, it's two sides. You hear people either say he straight up sucks, or he has just been completely abused and he still has all the potential in the world to be a top 15 quarterback. I'm not saying he can be a top 5, but I fall more towards, I think he could be a top 15 if he's got the right stuff around him. He's still young enough and talented enough. So if we can't trade up for that rookie to pair with Dalton, I kind of lean towards hopefully they trade for a Sam Darnold, a guy that's a veteran but still has a lot of untapped potential, some believe. And I think Nagy would believe that, and Lazor probably believes that too. So that's my hope of the kind of plan A, plan B. Plan C being they sit tight with this QB room, Nick Foles, Andy Dalton, and some late-round rookie like an Ian Book from Notre Dame or something, or Felipe Franks. I hope it's not plan C, guys. So that's my thoughts, though, on it. Let me know what you think. Please comment, feedback, hit the like button. I'll try to hop on here more with my reaction. I was sure to hop on. I know there's been a lot of moves with free agency and some quarterback sign here and there, but again, this channel, it's going to kind of have some Chicago/Illinois flavor to it a little bit sometimes, just because of my bias. I'll be upfront about it, so I had to get on here and get my reaction to this. So if you like what you hear, please hit the like button, subscribe, share. I'll catch you next time. Peace, guys.